Welcome to the Mills Knows Bills podcast. My name is Mills Bender. I'm the founder and CEO of Mills Knows Bills, where we help you, variable income earners, master your money in 90 days. The point of this podcast is to help you make the most of your fluctuating income so you can stop living paycheck to paycheck, pay off your debt twice as fast, and get on track toward reaching both your personal and professional financial goals. Now, as I continue to grow my team here at MKB, you may have some guest hosts from time to time. However, our goal does not change. Whether we're bringing in a guest speaker, having an in-depth conversation about our personal finances, or talking about a topic that is of interest to you, our goal is to help you master your money. Welcome back to another episode of the Mills Knows Bills podcast. I'm your host, as well as founder and CEO of Mills Knows Bills, Mills Bender. On this podcast, we answer your burning financial questions. Most of the time, we have a business owner or entrepreneur join me live, ask their question, and I help them through their financial situation. Today, we don't have a guest, and that's totally fine because I'm going to answer the question that I get asked a lot of times. The first one is, well, Mills, you work with blue-collar business owners who make $1 to $10 million a year, scale from $1 to $10 million a year, or beyond that. How do you do that? Well, here's the secret sauce. I hope you're taking notes. There are 5 common financial pitfalls that we see our clients come across. And so if you as a business owner are able to overcome these financial pitfalls, you should have no issue scaling your business, all else equal. Okay. First thing that we identify is that there's little to no planning that our clients have, which means they're not identifying ways that they can cut their expenses, increase their revenue, diversify their revenue. They're not doing any tax planning. They're not managing their finances in terms of their cash flow, and they don't know when to make hiring or firing decisions. They're kind of just rolling with the punches and they don't really have a game plan. So how do you fix that? I'm so glad me, myself, and I asked that question. You're going to have the most unsexy term today, a budget. The budget is where you're going to have that monetary reflection of your priorities. And here's how we view budgets here at MKB. It's a position of where you want to be at least a year from now. So if you're currently making $1 million, where do you want to be a year from now? How much do you want to be making? How much of that money are you going to be spending? On what? How are you going to get there? What people do you need to hire? So if you have a position of where you are to where you want to be, you then get to check in with yourself every 90 days and compare to that budget to see if you are on track. I can take a whole podcast episode on budgeting alone, but let's go through some of the other common financial pitfalls. The second one is mixing their business and pleasure. So do yourself a favor, please, and stop mixing your business and personal finances. The problem with this is that it makes your financial statement more complicated. It muddies the waters as to what is business versus what is personal. A lot of my clients who are making closer to the $10 million range are starting to think about when they want to sell. And so if you are on the lower end of that range right now, start making good habits now when it's not as big of an issue. If you're able to separate your business and personal finances, it's very cut and dry. What is the business versus what is yours? Why is this important? If you have too much muddied, it's going to be more difficult to sell your business for a multiple that you want to sell it for. If you want to make more money when you go to sell your business, have your business and personal finances separated. So do yourself that favor. And as you see those expenses come through, change the payment to the right card. You don't need to sit down and do it all at once. Check on it weekly and make those adjustments as you need. The third common financial pitfall is avoidance. It's not cute to say, I don't know what I'm doing with my finances and stick your head in the sand. That might have worked when you were making less than $1 million a year, but you are now running an asset. You need to treat it as such. If you don't look at your finances, you are the liability in your business. So how do you stop avoiding looking at your finances? Set weekly monthly and quarterly meetings with yourself, or better yet, hire a fractional CFO from Mills Knows Bills, and they will do this following work for you. On a weekly basis, you should be looking at your cash flow, the balances of all your accounts, and making quick tasks that you need to cross off that week. On a monthly basis, you should be looking at your profit and loss, analyzing it. Yes, actually take a look, give it a financial story, and tell that story against your budget and see if there are any gaps that you need to bridge. You also need to look at your goal tracking. How are you tracking for that annual goal that you've set for yourself? And you need to update your forecasting to see if you're on trend toward hitting that budget. On a quarterly basis, you should be resetting your goals, making sure that you're on track for that annual budget, and having those professional conversations with all of the financial professionals in your sphere. This could include your bookkeeper, your CPA, your tax strategist, your financial advisor, your CFO, any professional that helps you manage your finances. So that's how you avoid avoidance. You start having meetings with yourself and doing the work. Common financial pitfall number 4 is little to no savings. Listen, y'all, I get it. Saving does not sound fun. And a lot of times people will say, well, I have no money left over to save. How do I save? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Look at your finances every week, and whatever balance is in your checking account, set aside 1% of the balance into a savings account. If you feel the pain of 1%, you have a far bigger problem on your hands. Your goal is to do 1% for 4 weeks, then increase it to 2% for 4 weeks, 3, 4. You get the idea. You want to work up toward 10% at least, because at one point you need 3 months of your operating expenses set aside in a separate account. 3 months. So if you spend on average $15,000 a month, you need to have $45,000 set aside. The last component of the common financial pitfalls is having unbalanced leverage. I say unbalanced because sometimes clients will have too much. And yes, there is such thing as too little. There is. You want to make sure that you are solvent, that you can repay your business. However, you also want to make sure that you are putting yourself in the position to take advantage of opportunities that come your way. So if you're in a situation where you don't need a loan right now, you're doing well financially, now is the time to apply for a line of credit, because you're going to qualify easier, you're going to get better rates, and you don't need to tap into it until you need to tap into it. Better yet, if the right opportunity comes your way, you have excess cash that you can deploy. You don't need to take money out of your typical revenue operating system. And then you get a higher return on investment than what the cost of that line of credit is costing you. If you are in a situation where you need debt, what I would encourage you to do is take a look at the current debt that you do have. If you have a lot of credit cards, which a lot of business owners do, and you're not able to pay off that balance, explore the option of getting a term loan. So that way you can pay off that balance at a lower interest rate, free up a little bit of that cash outflow, because now you're not spending as much on that interest on that credit card. So 5 common financial pitfalls that if you were to fix them in your business, you will be on track toward going from 1 million to 10 million a year. Of course, this is the Mills Knows Bills podcast. So I have to say, if this is something that you are not confident doing yourself, or maybe you are capable, but you just don't want to deal with it because your time is better spent elsewhere, reach out to us at millsknowsbills.com. Apply to hire us. Yes, there is an application on the services tab, because we don't just accept anybody. But if you submit an application, one of our team members will reach out to you, identify if you are the right fit for us and if we are the right fit for you. That's all I have for you today. I hope that those 5 common financial pitfalls and solutions were beneficial to you. Have a great one.